Schedule 1 is filled with Easter eggs and references, but for some reason, there's nothing on YouTube about it. So today, I'm taking matters into my own hands and uncovering everything the game has to offer. I've been working on this video for over a month now, digging through every corner, tattoo, and character just to make sure I didn't miss a single thing. So buckle up, we're about to dive into a rabbit hole that's deeper than you can imagine, and we're gonna start with the obvious ones. It's really no surprise that this game pulls heavy inspiration from Breaking Bad. I mean, you literally start off in the same crusty-ass RV as Walt and Jesse. Hell, the final quest isn't subtle, it straight up tells us, we need to cook. So obviously, Tyler couldn't resist tossing in a few Breaking Bad Easter eggs. Because what's a crime game without a little nostalgia? First off, the car wash. It's rocking the exact same baby blue and white color scheme as the A1A car wash in the show. Then there's the Hound Dog at Highland Auto. It's basically a Chrysler 300 with an Audi facelift, just like the one Walter White drove once he went full Kingpin. But it doesn't stop there. In Westville, there's the Koyama Chemical Company, a sneaky nod to Emilio Koyama, Jesse Pinkman's sketchy first business partner. And here's the wild part. Emilio's last name shows up for like a second and a half in the whole show. I actually went back and read the transcripts just to double check, and somehow Tyler clocked it and threw it in the game. And of course, there's HAM, the law firm you'll see all over town. Bus stops, billboards, probably tattooed on someone's lower back. It's a little wink at Hamlin, and McGill, the clean-cut lawyers from Better Call Saul. But there's another business that's clearly a reference. Ray's Realty, with the super welcoming slogan, eat shit and die. Just the kind of vibe you want when buying a home, right? Turns out it's actually a roast of the very real Australian real estate company, and honestly, if you look at their reviews, that slogan might be less of a joke and more of a company policy. But while Ray's Realty gets burned, the game also gives a big shout out to some real life legends who helped shine some light on the game when it first came out. Because there's a pretty solid chance that this game wouldn't be as popular as it is without Kaesul and Charlie. After their stream, Schedule 1 absolutely blew up, reaching a peak rank of number 5 on the Steam charts. So Tyler decided to add in something to thank them. Between the trees behind the mayor's house, you can find a crude sketch of Charlie, also known as Moist Critical, White Jesus, and Mr.
These are mags. They're mags, not clips. You look fucking stupid here.
And in the storm drain, right next to Jesse's favorite bench by the lake, you can find Kaesul daydreaming about the only thing he wants more than food. But let's talk more graffiti, because there is a terrorist in Highland Point. This dude is tagging everything he can get his hands on. JJ was here. JJ was also here. JJ's got beef with the hospital because they won't sell him coke. And apparently, Kyle at Taco Tickler straight up killed his grandma. So much for Employee of the Month. And just when you think you've escaped him, boom, his name's plastered all over Serena Flats as well. Almost like he's been following us this entire time. I don't know who this man is, but he's clearly got opinions, a spray can, and no sense of boundaries. And unless you hit that subscribe button, he's coming for your house next. And trust me, you do not want your walls turned into JJ's next art gallery. But while JJ's out here running his own personal side quest, he's not the only one with the spray can and zero impulse control, because apparently every wall in Highland Point is legally obligated to have a weird reference on it. If you swing by the Sauerkraut Supreme Pizza, you'll find a legally distinct, I repeat, legally distinct, yellow sponge. Now Tyler recently changed this graffiti because it used to have some Chinese letters scribbled above it, which if you translated them read Splash Bob. Which is a pretty fitting name because if SpongeBob lived in a sewer and had a nicotine habit, this would be him. Right next to the parking ramp, you'll find a blue and red swirl. That's a nod to the anime Tokyo Ghoul and everyone's favorite food-obsessed weirdo, Tsukiyama. And just a few steps over, Skin and Min scribbled on the wall, which is a reference to Baraska, a creepy short story that originally blew up on Reddit. Behind the tattoo shop, we've got a skull with knives jammed through it, and if that gives you Black Ops 2 Zombies flashbacks, you're spot on. And right next to it is a tag that says TLH, which I'm pretty sure is Tyler's initials, but maybe it just stands for Totally Loves Heroin. Who knows? Game devs are weird. Now, over by the Doc's warehouse, you've got the beautifully deranged Eric Andre Show reference.
Legalize ranch!
Finally, a political movement I can get behind. Just when you thought it couldn't get nerdier, on the side of the stash and dash, there's a literal beholder from D&D with a little helmet that says safety first. Because nothing says safe like a floating meatball with 6 laser eyes. Oh, and the town hall proudly displays the phrase, hot boys and gamer girls. That's not harassment, it's just what Nakey Jakey calls his audience. But he's not the only YouTuber getting a little shout out in this game, because if you take a glance at the side of the Western Gas Mart, you'll see this little fella, who became a recurring meme on the Australian YouTube channel, Cold Ones. And it's clear Tyler's a big fan, because this little fella even gets to star in his own video game. If you go to the TV in the motel room and boot up the console, there's a game installed called Egg Run. And it's basically identical to the minigame that you can play in Google Chrome if you don't have any internet. Oh, and this little egg even gets his own tattoo. And if we just move the camera up a bit, you can see this sick-ass tribal tattoo that is an exact replica of the one Mike Tyson has. And Jesse's tattoos are based on the pop, rap, and country singer Post Malone. You know, the guy that bought a Magic the Gathering card for $2 million. What a nerd. But there's someone else in Highland Park who's an even bigger nerd than old Posty. Dean. He has a Star Trek quote from Captain Kirk permanently tattooed on him. But he also has another tattoo that references the 2007 movie that won the Academy Award for Best Animated Feature Film of the Year. The movie was Ratatouille.
What do I always say? Anyone can cook.
Well, yeah.
And that darn rat shows up again if you go to Thrifty Threads and buy one of the chef hats, because the label states that it's the perfect hat to conceal a rodent. And speaking of cooking, the mixing station's hiding some spicy little secrets, a bunch of clever references tucked into the effects you get from different mixes. The most obvious one, of course, is the Tropic Thunder effect, a not-so-subtle nod to the movie where Robert Downey Jr. went full blackface and somehow walked away with an Oscar nomination. But there's a few other ones as well. If you mix in a banana, you get the gingeritis effect, which is a reference to the South Park episode where Cartman gave a full presentation on why ginger kids are so ugly. And if instead you mix in a little iodine, which, fun fact, can boost your estrogen levels in real life, you get the Jennerizing effect. It's a cheeky reference to Bruce Jenner, who later became Caitlyn Jenner. So it's about her transition, and yeah, that's why it makes you grow tits. Wait a second.
It's rewind time.
Greg Figgle looks exactly like Trevor from Grand Theft Auto, like copy-paste levels of exact. And he's not the only one. There are a few other characters that totally give off video game deja vu. Take Cranky Frank. He's basically a clone of Crazy Dave from Plants vs. Zombies. Pot on his head? Check. Crazy eyes? Check. Lives in a busted old trailer? Check, check, and check. And then there's Marco Baroni. And stay with me here. He's Mario. Blue overalls, red shirt, and get this, he's even named Mario in the game files. They weren't even trying to hide it. But hey, it's not just video games getting love, there are a ton of nods to real people as well. Remember Charles Rowland? He's bald as hell and was made in a lab to look exactly like Anthony Fantano. And the flannel shirt from Thrifty Threads is another subtle reference to the music critic. Then there's Jeremy Wilkinson, proud owner of Highland Auto and the spiritual twin of Jeremy Clarkson from Top Gear. And just outside the dealership window, we got Javier. Now, you can't tell me that doesn't look exactly like Cat Williams, although he is a lot less funny in game. And Uncle Nelson is just a crippled version of the country singer Willie Nelson. And Albert Hoover, our beloved supplier of drugs, that's actually Albert Hoffman, the guy who literally invented LSD. But wait, there's more, so buckle up, it's lightning round time. Kyle is Lyle from Breaking Bad, Jeff is Chong from Cheech and Chong, Kim Delaney is from NYPD Blue, Elizabeth Homley is Ramona Flowers and Scott Pilgrim, Chloe Bowers is from the game Life is Strange, Salvatore Moreno is Salvatore Moroni from Batman, Mick Lubin is from the movie Superbad, and Peter File is a character from the British show IT Crowd. I know they don't look alike, you're gonna have to trust me. Oh, and Cuke is from that show as well.
Cuke? Yeah, I love Cuke. It's heaven in a can.
But there's a few other items scattered around that are inspired by real products as well. Siggy's are a clear reference to Marlboro Reds. Old Man Jimmy's is a mashup between Jim Beam and Jack Daniels, and Red Balls is obviously Red Bull, but the name is actually from a Dave Chappelle skit.
Sometimes the endless pursuit of crack leaves me tired and depleted.
But now cocaine comes in a delicious shape. Red balls. It gives me wings!
And finally, the most requested Easter egg. The one that everyone has been asking me about. The Gnome. Who is he? What does he want? Where did he come from? Well, his name is Gnome Chomsky. And he's kind of a developer Easter egg. Devs love hiding this cute little fella around their maps and making fun achievements for them. And he's become pretty popular over the years. He's in Payday 2, Half-Life 2, Darksiders 2, Left 4 Dead 2, Watch Dogs 2, Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2, man, what the fuck is with all these sequels? So yeah, this game, not just about drugs. It's a meme museum, a TV archive, and a conglomeration of all of Tyler's favorite things. Stay silly, y'all.